Welcome back to Broken Electronics. I'm Lee, and this is going to be a different kind of video, I think. Now, the lighting may look a little different. I'm not sure. It is quite a bit earlier in the day than I usually record introductions. And the reason for this, we're going on a road trip today. And this road trip, obviously it has to have something to do with retro tech, or why would I be making a video? It's another Facebook Marketplace expedition. This time, rather a longer one. We're going to travel our way from Central Connecticut here to Ithaca, New York. It's about a 4.5 hour drive. No, this isn't going to be a 9-hour video, and the clips on the drive are going to be fairly limited, largely because of my use of my phone as my camera, and it's also my navigation device. But, we'll try to give you some of the flavor of it here. If I'm going to be making that long a trip, it must be something pretty special. So, you want to find out, please stay tuned. Now, this incidentally is not going to be my first trip to Ithaca. I was there many years ago.
At the stop sign, turn right onto Paddock Avenue.
Forgive Siri. Many years ago, when I auditioned at Ithaca College, which has quite a notable school of music. I got into the school. I ended up not going.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto East Main Street.
Choosing instead to go to the Hart School of Music. Ithaca is probably, though, best known as the home of Cornell University, that notable Ivy League school. It's located south of Syracuse, a number of miles south, but central New York. So it's going to be kind of a long ride.
At the light, turn right onto East Main Street.
And I have Siri to keep me company. Isn't that wonderful? Stay tuned. Well, we have been making some progress. We're on the road now, of course. We just crossed over the state line into New York State. I'd like to say that was a major milestone on the trip, but of course, Connecticut is such a small state. I've only been driving about not quite 50 minutes yet. But we're getting somewhere, I suppose, so stay tuned. Well, something is in fact happening now. We've been traveling along Interstate 84. We are just about to leave 84 for New York State's Route 17, bringing us in the general direction of Binghamton. I actually was in Binghamton once, too, a number of years after I was up in Ithaca. And I always remember that. I was, for 25 years, contrabassoonist in the Hartford Symphony Orchestra. I was using the symphony's contrabassoon, which was falling apart. And finally decided the best thing to do would be to buy one myself. So I found one used. Very beautiful instrument. Seems like an age ago. Anyhow, we are now inside of 3
Use
hours.
the right lane to take exit 19 to merge onto New York Route 17 toward Binghamton.
About 2 hours and 45 minutes out. So, stay tuned. We'll be back soon. Okay, we've reached a milestone of sorts. About halfway into the trip. 2 hours, 10 minutes or so to our destination. Just past Liberty, New York, which is a memory for me. About 25 years. I was a Civil War reenactor. We used to do an event in Liberty, And as an aside to Siena, this Liberty was the one event where the organizers did not provide firewood. We were supposed to go and forage in the woods for firewood, which always bothered me. You just can't tell what kind of pesticides or whatever could be on that wood, and we're burning it in the campfire. So after the first time we went there, we would just pack in our own wood. We went about 3 times. It always rained. Well, anyhow, we will be there, as I say, in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. So stay tuned. The times in which we live. Stopped at a rest area off Route 17. Still a couple hours away from our destination. But yeah, I get out of the car, this is what I look like. Hi, it's still Lee. It's turned into a pretty drive, through the mountains. Not a lot of traffic, so it's been good. So, stay tuned. Well, here's something new and different. We're now on Interstate 86 West. 17 just magically turned into it. And I gather from some of the signs I had seen that the plan will be for 17 to eventually become Interstate 86 for its length. New and different, it's the same road from years and years and years ago. We're coming up on Binghamton now. But I just thought I would share that. Okay, stay tuned. Well, we're coming up to the city of Ithaca now. Siri decided to have issues, so hopefully I'll get there. Stay tuned. In the parking lot of Wegmans in Ithaca, New York, this is going to be about the extent, that's my car, after a long drive. Great car. You're going to take drives like this, a Prius is recommended. Anyhow, this will be the extent of our tour of the sights of Ithaca, because I've got 4.5 hours ahead of me and I'm pretty tired. So please stay tuned. I saw a convenient gas station, so I stopped for gas. Turns out this is about the only gas station I've ever seen that does not have a public bathroom. Fortunately, there's a restaurant right across the street. Now we head home. Stay tuned. Well, we're going by Liberty, New York again. This appears to be about the halfway point. Not quite. The ETA I got for the drive there was a little under 4.5 hours. The ETA for the drive back was a little under 5 hours, so a little more than 2.5 hours left. One of the things that struck me on this trip has been that the New York State Police are everywhere. I was wondering about that a little bit until it finally dawned on me that as I am recording this, I'm taking this trip on the Friday of Labor Day weekend. Now, traffic has been really, really, really light, I'm sure due to the pandemic. But yeah, the state police, of course, are out in force and hopefully keeping the highways safe for the course of this weekend. I, like most Americans, have been exceeding the speed limit a little bit, but certainly not to the point that the state police are going to be at all likely to pull me over for any reason. And they haven't. I mean, I've seen several times they've been sitting in the middle of highways and just roll on by. So, anyhow, I just thought I would share that. Don't know that I'm going to be recording any more until I get home, but regardless, please stay tuned. Well, we've just run across the first traffic slowdown. We're coming up to Brewster, New York on Interstate 84. which is the junction between 684 going down to New York City and 84 continuing into Connecticut. And it is 4:01, so I suppose we're heading towards rush hour, and also being the holiday weekend. This is the first time that anything has actually slowed up. And yeah, I can actually look at the screen because I'm hardly moving right now. But all in all, it's been a pretty amazing trip. Now, I would expect...
In 10 miles, keep right onto I-84 east toward Waterbury.
Well, it's 10 miles to Brewster. It's going to be a little while. And then we'll have to see what Waterbury is like, because that often slows up. But yeah, it's been a very smooth ride. And only now, as we're within the last hour and a half, are we starting to encounter any slowdowns. Well, if Waterbury in fact slows down again, I may point that out to you, but for the moment I think we can just continue the drive, so please stay tuned. Well, it melted away pretty quickly. We're doing well now, and we are officially back in Connecticut. All of that is well and good. However, it is saying an hour and 22 minutes estimated until I'm home. So obviously there are more slowdowns expected through Danbury as we come into here, and probably in Waterbury too. So anyhow, stay tuned. And I'm home. And kind of beat, but it was quite an expedition, as you've just seen, of course. But now we do have to reveal what was so special that caused me to make a 9.5-hour round trip to Ithaca, New York. That's it. Now, you look at that, and of course the first thought of anybody who's seen these things is it's either a Mac Pro or a Power Mac G5. The sharp-eyed among you will have noticed that there's only one optical drive bay, which means it has to be a Power Mac G5, because the Mac Pros all had provision for 2 optical drives. I've never actually seen one in real life that had 2, but it was possible. Okay. So, we've got this. Now, I need to show you, take you on a tour of it, both outside and in. Get it connected and boot it up. And then see why I find this machine so special that I drove all that way. And I'm going to do that in the next video. Yeah, this ends up being kind of a teaser, I know, but realistically, I've just been driving 9.5 hours. I'm exhausted. I haven't eaten, so I need to attend to that. And I just don't have it in me right now. Not to mention, this video is going to be a monster to edit together, because of all of these little tiny clips. Almost all of them were done on my iPad, which I had sitting in the car seat next to me while the iPhone navigated. There was one clip from outside the car that I did do on the iPhone. And all those clips, I've got them right here, there will be 14 in total, need to be knit together and then see if it turns out into anything that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. So that's going to take a while, most likely tomorrow morning, and this video is going to be out. This will be the Tuesday video. Yeah, you're going to have to wait for the Friday video to see what the heck it actually is. So, sorry about that, but yeah, I'm just a little too beat to move on with it right this second. In any event, be good to other people. We all deserve someone to be good to us. Be good to yourselves, because you especially deserve someone to be good to you. Take very good and careful care in these very, very difficult times. We will be back with you very soon with more videos about this machine and a lot more after that. Until that time, this has been Broken Electronics.